Hi, Mark. Welcome around the workstand.
Hi, Susie. How are you this week?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you doing?
I'm a little out there because I leave tomorrow for Kansas for Unbound. So it's the last minute. Do I have stuff? Will I do like I usually do and end up throwing everything in the car, hoping that it's in there, or will I be thoughtful about it? We don't know yet.
You got a day, less than a day, to get that all dialed in.
Hours
before you
and
head
hours. Yeah. I do have to do a little work the rest of today, so I'm a bit preoccupied, but I'm doing my best. But thank you for asking.
Yes, I mean, but speaking of around the workstand, is your bike ready?
It is very ready, except I don't know a lot about hydraulic disc brakes. Mm-hmm. And somehow the front brake is now mushy.
Oh. And
it was fine. The back one was mushy, and we bled that and got it nice, and now the front one's mushy. I don't know what to do about that. So I will go back to my friend who helped with the rear one. And actually, I was at one of our good merchant stores, Wheat Ridge Cyclery. Did some fit work with them last week, and they helped with the front brake because I messed it up and it was rubbing and I couldn't figure it out. So they fixed that, and then on a ride after that, the brakes went off. Who knows? So I don't know.
Okay, well, it sounds like you've got the support you need to figure it out.
I do. I have a plan between a friend, and of course I'll be right by that bike shop again on the way out of town tomorrow. So maybe I'll pull in and beg for some help.
Yes, please. Well, we're all very excited for you, and can't wait to hear about it. Can't wait to hear about the snacks, the trials, the tribulations.
Hopefully the crossing of the finish line part will be in the story somewhere.
I'm manifesting it in my brain. I can just picture it.
Thank you. It looks a lot like this.
Yes.
I salute. I post up and salute no matter what. As long as I cross the line. 80th place, 100th place, doesn't matter.
Sounds like a win to me.
There you go. Speaking of wins, we wanted to revisit something from, I don't remember when that was, a couple episodes ago. Mm-hmm. We ventured to answer some questions in straightforward, common questions, things we hear a lot, in straightforward ways, things about marketing or whatever they were. But one of those questions was about what makes a good homepage. And the more we thought about that, I thought about it a lot. We talked about it. We wanted to try and give, rather than look at this is good, or here's an idea for something that's good. Rather than that, we wanted to give more of a tool set sort of approach to it. In other words, how should we be thinking about anything that goes on the website? How do we make decisions about which content, which landing pages, et cetera, to put on there? So that it's not necessarily a set of instructions, but it's more of a mindset of, okay, I can look at this content and triage it and decide, is this going to make my website better or not? And that's what we want to talk about today.
Yeah, I love it. So I think it kind of, should we start it with, does it answer it? It all starts with search. They're coming to your website for a reason, and there's a reason why maybe your website is being served up. Yeah.
So, if it's true, and we believe it is, that all shopping starts with search, but everything, there's always some idea somebody has. I need this. I want that. And they go to their phone or they go to their computer and they search for these things. So those are the questions. And the good content, the best homepages, answer those questions or solve those problems. And really, it's not just websites. I mean, think about this for emails, promotional emails, or even just emails you send somebody. Are you answering a question? Are you providing some piece of value that makes the reader of that content or the viewer of that content happy, that they feel like they got something out of it? That's really what we're talking about. So when you look at your homepage, that's the framework to judge all of the content on the homepage, and primarily. So when you think about, I want to put this thing in the hero area of my homepage. Great. What is that thing? And does it answer some questions? Somebody that you want to come to your business is asking, because that's what we're after. And, it sounds, you say it out loud, it sounds kind of simple, but that's really what we're after.
Yeah. I think just kind of approaching it with that kind of critical thinking or that analysis, I think is a really great place to start. And I can't help but kind of bring it back to your store. Like, everything about your brick and mortar business is incredibly intentional. Imagine, like, why are you putting this bike or this setup, this display together in your front windows? Why are you putting, maybe mountain bike accessories together? Same thing that you're thinking about when you're approaching your homepage. If someone walked in your store, did a quick lap, did a little scan, you're answering those same questions. Oh, do they do service? Oh yeah, I see a service department. Mm-hmm. Oh, it looks like, and obviously this is maybe with an educated eye in some cases. Mark, you mentioned you went and got a fit recently. Yep. You knew about Wheat Ridge's business, but maybe just someone just walking in and being like, oh, I see a fit studio. I see that setup. Mm-hmm. Do they see that on your homepage?
Yeah, because we know the website has become the front door to the store. So, like you said, most of our merchants are incredibly thoughtful and intentional about how the store layout is and what's included and what's not, because there could be all sorts of other stuff in the store, but it's not there because it's not relevant. But if the website's the front door to the store, consumers are going to get there before they ever get that chance. So do they have that same intentional presentation of the content on the website that helps them get there? And, I can tell you Wheat Ridge does, because I knew they did fits, but I wasn't 100% sure on a few of the details. So I went to the website and looked. It's just, again, it sounds incredibly simple when we say it out loud, but these are the frameworks you have to use because you just have a limited time. People have short attention spans. And we're trying to connect the dots between these questions and the website and then the business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I could go on for days about kind of drawing parallels between your website and your brick and mortar business. I think a lot of folks, especially I hear it a lot when people are maybe starting to learn about Workstand and what we offer, and maybe they're like, but I don't want to do e-commerce. I'm a brick and mortar business. It's all extension of your store. It's not this other, it's your business. So I kind of go off the rails there a little bit, but I said I could go on for days and I just continued to go on, but,
not for days though.
I had a little more to say. But what about, should we talk about kind of the SEO aspect of this?
Yeah. It's always the question that comes up, and it's one of those questions we ventured to answer then, but this is the secret to SEO. Right. What happens is search engines, we used to have to be real clever with this metadata and behind the scenes things and links and all this stuff. Really don't have to be that clever anymore. It really is a matter of this exact activity. Do you have the content on your website that's interesting to the people that you wish to attract? If you do, then at some point your results will get served into those searches. And when somebody lands there, if it is truly interesting and relevant to these questions that consumers ask about your business, then search engines can see that behavior. They can tell it was relevant content because I land, I scroll, I click, I dig deeper, I spend time there. And answering these questions is exactly how you build that infrastructure of value. And so it's just really important. That doesn't mean every single piece of content on your website has to be this thoughtful or premeditated. There's probably some rule. I don't know of any official rule. It's probably like an 80-20 rule or something.
I like that. I think we should go with that.
There's certainly some room in there just for personality. There's some room in there for content that simply offers something to the community about the community. That's okay. But we just want to bring this up because everything you put on your website, you should be intentional about, and you should be asking these questions. Is this really answering a question that people I wish would come and spend money with me in my business are asking? Is it solving a problem that that group of people has so that they can find me as a solution to that problem? Sometimes the answer is no, but it tells consumers something about you. And some consumers care about that. They care that you're a 20-year mechanic that you know have done some events, that you support local community event. They care about those things. They aren't necessarily purchase decisions. They aren't the things, frankly, because, I mean, let's think about the same framework. Is anybody out there searching, find me a bike shop run by somebody who was a pro mechanic or who supports the local MS1? They're not really searching for that stuff. So it's not going to help connect the dots. But once people are there, then they may click the about or the staff page, and those things become very, very important, just like they would, back to your analogy, just like they would in the store. You walk in the store, the team's been there for years. You ask about taillights. They've got favorites that they love. They've got experience. But that stuff matters. It just isn't going to be the thing typically that gets a new shopper through the doors.
Yeah. And maybe a question to think about it. Does it enrich your customer's experience?
Yes, that's good.
Maybe that could kind of, I can't help but think about, like there's just some fun things. Like, one of the little things that my like local Trader Joe's does is they have an area in the store, they have a poster of everyone's dogs, and then another one of everyone's cats, and then like kind of other little creatures. There's just like a fun little experience when you're shopping, and obviously we all know that my priorities in life involve animals. But yeah, maybe it's featuring your shop dog on your homepage, or I think we have some retailers who do a fun like new bike day, and they feature a photo of their customer with their new bike, and like little things like that. That it's like that's not going to maybe directly sell or promoting your service, but it's just. It's promoting. It's you. It's your culture. It's your values, and just kind of personality.
Yeah, that stuff's important. I just want to make sure people think about what each piece of that pie is.
Yeah.
And the pets. Once somebody knows you, once they're there, that's going to be stickiness. It's going to make them want to do more business with you. But on the other end of the equation, since so much of what we're trying to do these days in retail is attract new shoppers and get people to see our message so we can tell them these stories and tell them how cycling's so wonderful, that stuff, because people don't search that way. Find me a bike shop that has lots of dogs, and they just don't search that way. They're going to search for the bike.
I wish.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to search for the bike they want, or the helmet they need, or the training wheel, whatever it is. They're searching for those things or those services. I need a tune-up. So just think about that. Just be intentional about it. And if you make the decision to put, the picture of the puppies, and that's great, but just understand where that should live on the website. It probably shouldn't live above the fold on the homepage. Because if somebody wasn't really interested in that, then they're going to bounce off and go somewhere else to find what they were looking for.
Yeah, and I made me think of a couple of things. As one, we spent a lot of time with our agency team a couple weeks ago, and they really kind of they do a lot of really excellent work. But hearing them talk, I think, is also fun. They're kind of deep in the marketing trenches, and they talk about kind of sharing your vibe. I thought that was there's a lot of vibe speak, but I love it. I feel like that's always going to be an aspect. That's kind of that personality piece. And I had another thought, and then it just escaped me.
Yeah, and it'll come back to you.
Oh,
there it is.
I got it. I think we talk about coming back to search and search trends and how shoppers may be finding your business and what they're specifically searching for is changing. So maybe coming back to that. You want answers, and we were here to provide them for you. That's something we're happy to kind of like look into more, or maybe you have a chat with Mark personally about your business or our agency team. But customers or your potential customers aren't just searching for their local bike shop anymore.
Yeah.
They're searching more deliberately for the service, for a specific bike. So I think this kind of comes back to that, is answering those specific questions.
I agree. And it is important. I mean, the vibe is important. It is important to present digitally what can be expected in the store, and the vibe of the store and the staff. That's all part of it. When we do a lot of the custom design projects, that's always a big part of it, but it's not first. First is Are we providing the answers to those questions? Are we providing it in a way that makes it easy? You always say that. Make it easy for the customer.
Gotta make it easy.
Are we doing all that? And are we expressing the personality of the business? So they're all important. As it got back, the way we started this was, what makes a good homepage? I just thought it's good to put a framework out there that people can say, okay, well, I'm about to put this up. Does this satisfy this answering the question thing? Well, not really. Well, then does it satisfy this personality or community or vibe thing? No, I just feel like putting it up. Okay, well, understand that's not useful content for anybody else but you. And just understand that's what you're doing, and it's taking away an opportunity for something else. So that's all I wanted to get across. And I know it sounds a little rough, but it's a contact sport out there.
It is, yeah. I got to get in front of as many people as possible.
There you go.
And your website is always going to see more traction than or traffic than your store.
Yep. And of your website, the homepage is going to see the most traffic. So be thoughtful about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Excellent real estate you got there.
Yeah. And as always, if you have more questions, including, since this might be a little touchy, including if you just think we're wrong, just let us know. Give us a comment below or email podcast@workstand.com. As Susie and I watch that email address, we love questions. We'd be happy to be wrong.
I'd love to talk about it.
Yeah. And everything's not right for every business. That's the point of this stuff, is it's very unique in each market, in each store. So let us know how we can help.
Yeah. And until then, I guess we'll see you around the workstand.
We'll see you.